Hey everyone, welcome back to Shady Review. In today's video, we have one of the absolute best pairs of Ray-Ban sunglasses in existence, especially when you're talking about vintage Bosch and Lomb Ray-Ban sunglasses. This is the Ray-Ban General, and as you guys can see here, I have the original case and everything in the original box, and of course these sunglasses here to show off in today's video as well. Now again, these are known as one of the absolute best pairs of Ray-Ban sunglasses in existence for a bunch of different reasons. But the first reason is they are very special because they are here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Ray-Ban, and the anniversary day is 1937 to 1987. So that's actually 36 years from now, so this pair is very, very rare and hard to get a hold of because a lot of them have been destroyed due to time. And also this is a very expensive pair of sunglasses back in the day as well. So first off, let's talk about the lenses here on the Ray-Ban General. These are Ray-Ban's RB-50 lenses, which block 100% of UVA and UVB rays, of course, and they also have a ton of technology packed into these lenses as well. And they actually made the RB-50 lenses up until like 1996, I believe. Now I do want to mention here, I am definitely not a vintage Ray-Ban expert, so if I get a little bit of my information wrong, definitely feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below correcting anything that I say wrong in this video, and I will be sure to pin it. But I do definitely know a lot about vintage Ray-Ban sunglasses. I just would not consider myself an expert. So the RB-50 lens here is known to be one of Ray-Ban's greatest lenses ever, and that's because there's a ton of technology packed into these lenses. So here with the top coating is a titanium oxide coating, which is the first barrier that helps reduce glare. And then the second layer of the lens is a photochromic base lens, which adjusts absorption level depending on temperature and conditions. The third layer here is a control blue light absorption, which helps improve contrast and sharpens details without color distortion. And then the fourth layer here is the second titanium oxide coating, and this coating reflects light back into the lens to create a glare trap. The lens here actually blocks all the glare and squints so you don't have to, which is really, really impressive. And then the backside layer, we have a magnesium fluoride layer, which is an anti-reflective coating, which helps reduce sunlight coming in and bouncing off the lens at an angle. And from my experience, all this technology actually works really, really, really good in this lens. And this type of technology was completely unheard of back in 1987. So really state-of-the-art stuff that is still very, very impressive to this day. And that's one of the reasons why it is people's absolute favorite lens that Ray-Ban has ever produced. Now this beautiful RB-50 lens changes from a general purpose lens to a specialty lens depending on the lighting situation. Now on a normal day, the RB-50 lens is going to block 80% of visible light, which is great for just general purpose wear. And then on a bright warm day, the RB-50 lens darkens up to 90% light absorption, which is excellent to wear these for a beach or summer or water sports. Now the third thing it is great for is bright and cold days. So if you're out skiing, or if you live in New England, or if you live in Canada or somewhere where there's a ton of snow, these are absolutely incredible. So on bright cold days, the RB-50 lens darkens even more and absorbs up to 95% of visible light, which is excellent for sports and snow. So these lenses are extremely, extremely impressive, and probably the most impressive thing about these is their ability to block glare without actually having a polarizer filter. So as you guys know, you've worn polarized sunglasses before, and it really makes some things really wonky and kind of distorts the outside world. I know it's hard to believe, but for 90% of the time, I actually prefer non-polarized lenses, but that's a whole different video, so don't even get me started with that. But basically, it is kind of the best of both worlds. It gives you that polarized kind of technology without any of the downsides of having a polarized filter built into the lens. Now these frames were so popular that Ray-Ban actually made these for years and years and years, but you can tell the difference between an original 50th anniversary and then just the RB-50 General that they kept producing for years after, because the first generation Ray-Ban General have the Ray-Ban 50 logo painted on the lens. And from what I can tell, this is basically the first time that Ray-Ban ever put the Ray-Ban text on the logo. And then they also add this really cool little 50th logo as well. And that's again only found on the first generations that were made basically the first year of their 50th anniversary, of course. And then after that, they made a much smaller little 50 logo on the lens, and those are much more popular. These are a lot more rare, again, to my knowledge. These frames are named after General Douglas MacArthur, there because he was famous for basically wearing that kind of aviator style with the sweat bar on top. Just a really cool and masculine style. And these are different than just a pair of Ray-Ban aviators because they are much more beefy. So the hinges are beefy and the temples are much more beefy than the more cylindrical style temple found on a normal aviator frame. And of course, these have a really beautiful acetate sweat bar here up top as well, which makes them more comfortable in my opinion and more practical as well because your eyebrows aren't going to make contact with the lens. It pushes the lenses forward, which is really, really nice. And I actually really love the look of this as well. Again, it's just very masculine and really, really good looking in my opinion. Now, there really aren't any fakes of these out there, but there is a little etched BL logo here right near the temples of the frames there for authentication purposes. So that is something to note. Now, if we take a look here at the inner left temple of the frames, we can see they say the general, and then taking a look here at the inner right temple, we can see it says 1937 to 1987. And then we can also see that the nose rests have a little etching in them where it says BL on them as well. Also, we have etching here on the top ridge where it says BL Ray-Ban USA. And then on the underneath side of the top ridge, we can see it says BL Ray-Ban 5814. So the pair that I'm wearing in today's video has 58mm lenses in a 14mm bridge, but they also did produce these in a larger lens size, which has, I believe, a 62mm lenses, and I think the same 14mm bridge. And then another thing to mention here is they actually have the text Ray-Ban etched on the outside temple of both the left and right hand side as well. So now that you've seen these beautiful frames on face, let's go ahead and jump into my little quick unboxing of these frames with the original packaging. I think you guys are gonna kind of enjoy this. All right, and here we can see the original packaging, and I'd say it's in pretty decent shape considering the fact that the cardboard here is 36 years old. But of course, there are definitely some scratches here, and the cardboard is starting to peel off in certain areas, but I love how it says Ray-Ban, the General, 50, and then 1937 to 1987. All right, so here is the quick little unboxing. Here we can see the front, and then this is actually the bottom, even though this actually looks a little bit better in my opinion. Then here on the sides, we can see the model number, and we can also see it says 58mm, the General Bosch and Lomb, really cool there. It's gonna slide out really nicely like this and present you with this absolutely beautiful looking 50th anniversary case as well, which looks really, really nice. You can see it says Ray-Ban 50, Bosch and Lomb. And then something else to note is the case feels really, really good. That's because it is actually top grain cowhide. So it's genuine leather and it feels really good. It's definitely held up fantastically for the past 36 years, even though it's mostly been stored, but still really nice. Here we have the actual sunglass frames themselves, and they look absolutely gorgeous with the RB-50 lens and the vintage Ray-Ban logo. Now, not only is the actual 5.0 different than is found on other Ray-Ban RB-50 lenses, the actual Ray-Ban font is also different. Here we can see it has a completely different font to it, and it almost looks kind of fake, but that is the way it is on every pair of authentic Ray-Ban General 50th anniversary sunglasses. So overall, I think it's an absolutely fantastic looking pair of sunglasses, and you really can't beat all the technology and the heritage and the original packaging. This is just kind of the holy grail of Bosch & Lomb vintage Ray-Ban frames, and I'm really happy to own a pair. As far as pricing on these goes, these are going to basically run you about $1,000 to maybe $1,300. If you have the original box and packaging, they're definitely worth about $1,300. Unfortunately, the price of these has absolutely skyrocketed as people are kind of realizing how good these frames are and how good these lenses are. So they are getting more and more expensive. These used to be available for like $800, and now, like I said, with the original box and everything, you're probably looking closer to, you know, $1,100, $1,300. And, you know, I hate to make this video and make the price go even up more. I don't know if I have that much influence, but if I do, I hate that I'm making the price go up. But I did figure this video was really special and worth making for you guys, because of course I had to review the RB-50 lens and the general frames. Otherwise, you know, my channel would be illegitimate. I don't know what I'm saying there, but I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below, and of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every single time I put a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.